Honorable members, when we get the press to settle, honorable members, let me once again take this opportunity to congratulate all the members of the National Assembly who have been elected to this 13th Parliament. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the honorable ministers on their selection and the leader of the opposition on his election. Honorable members, there are three documents which we need to be very familiar with. The Constitution of Guyana, our standing orders, and our handbook for members of Parliament. And while I raise the three of them, I want to draw attention to Article 50 of our Constitution, which outlines the supreme organs of the state. Supreme. And those being the Parliament, and according to I think it's Article 51, being constituted by the President and the National Assembly. The second organ of supremacy is the President, and third, the Cabinet. I raise these documents in particular because a lot have been said in and out of us being in a formal sitting, and especially vile comments emanating from our duly elected leader of the opposition, talking about the corruption of the Speaker. Anyone wanting to criticize the Speaker can do so via a motion in the House. And so, while I have thick skin and my 45 years in public life has tempered me well, I am not averse to acting firmly. And so, those comments leveled at me by our leader of the opposition is still among the items which could possibly go to a privileged committee. That being said, at 10 a.m. this morning, according to the Constitution, Article 184, 1, I convene the meeting of non-governmental members of Parliament for the election of the leader of the opposition. Paragraph 4 of that article says that the leader of the opposition shall be elected by a show of hands, regardless if there is only one nominee. The Honorable Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Azzuddin Mohammed, was nominated and seconded. And before the vote could be taken, the honorable members of the Partnership for National Unity left the meeting. Those who indicated by show of hands that they are voting for the Honorable Member, Mr. Mohammed, as Leader of the Opposition include the Honorable Ashuddin Mohammed, the Honorable Tabitha Sarabo Hali, the Honorable Natasha Singh, the Honorable Don Hastings Williams, the Honorable Odessa Primus, the Honorable Pandit Vishnu Pandey, the Honorable Gordon Barker, the Honorable Nandrani Singh, the Honorable Dr. Andre Lewis, the Honorable Tashana Femi Corlett, the Honorable Duarte Hetzberger, the Honorable Gobin Harbhajan, the Honorable Beverly Cornelius, the Honorable Dion Lacruz, the Honorable Janelle Svetnam, and the Honorable Dr. Ryan Richards from the We Invest in Nationhood Party, along with the Honorable Member, Ms. Amanza Walton Desir. 17 members voted for the Honorable Member, Mr. Ashuddin Mohammed, to be the Leader of the Opposition. I have since transmitted that information by letter to His Excellency, President Dr. Irfan Ali. Mr. Clerk.
Presentation of papers and reports, etc.
The Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance and Government Chief Whip,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to present the audited financial statements of the Rights of the Child Commission for the year ending 31st December 2024. The paper that is listed on the audit paper for the audited financial statements of the Integrity Commission for the year ending 31st December 2024 was tabled in the first session of this Parliament.
Honorable Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise, sir, to present to this Honourable House the following papers, reports, and other documents. 1. Government Notice Number 5 of 2025 regarding notification receipts of all petroleum revenues paid into the Natural Resource Fund during the period 1st of October 2025 to 29th December 2025. 2. Financial Paper Number 2 of 2025, Supplementary Estimates Current and Capital Advances made from the Contingencies Fund totaling $18,821,223,636 for the period from 18th November to 16th December 2025. And Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the standing orders, sir, I wish to name as the date for the aforementioned financial paper to be considered the day on which we shall have concluded consideration of the estimates for financial year 2026. 3, budget speech for 2026. And 4, the estimates of revenue and expenditure of Guyana for the financial year 2026, to which I would have just referred. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister of Home Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I present to the Assembly the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Tint Regulations 2026, number 1 of 2026.
Thank you, Minister.
Reports from committees. Oral questions without notice. Questions on notice. Statements by ministers, including policy statements. Reports from committees. Requests for leave to move the adjournment of the National Assembly on definite matters of urgent public importance. Motions relating to the business or sittings of the National Assembly and moved by a minister.
Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to move the following motion. Be it resolved that Standing Orders number 10, subclause 2 and 38, subclause 9A be suspended to enable the senior minister in the office of the President with responsibility for finance to complete uninterrupted the reading of the budget speech for 2026 at the sitting of the National Assembly on this day, Monday, January the 26th, 2026. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable members, the motion is proposed. I will now put the motion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Ayes have it. The motion is carried. Mr. Clerk.
Introduction of bills. Public business. Government's business.
Honorable members, before we take the Honorable Minister of Finance and his budget presentation, we have one motion which the Honorable Minister Gail Teixeira will now move, and that pertains to nominees to the Committee of Selection.
Again, thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is a great honor of mine to, with your leave, to nominate the following honorable members to serve on the Committee of Selection of this Assembly. I therefore propose and nominate Prime Minister Mark Phillips, Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister Kwame McCoy, Minister Pauline Sukai, and myself, yours truly.
Thank you, Minister. The Honorable Member, Mr. Ajuddin Mohammed. Honorable Member, Mr. Bita Sarabu Hali.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to nominate MP Odessa Primus and MP Nandrani Singh to be on the Committee of Selection.
Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to nominate the Honorable Terence Campbell and yours truly to serve on the Committee of Selection.
There any other nominations? I think the 9 persons nominated fills the committee. Honorable members, I now put the question that those members so nominated form the Committee of Selection. Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say no. Ayes have it. We now have an established Committee of Selection. And now, honorable members, I have the honor of inviting Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance to move the Honorable Dr. Ashni Kumar Singh to move the motion for the approval of the estimates of expenditure for financial year 2026. Honorable Senior Minister, you may now proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise, sir, to move the motion for the approval of the estimates of the public sector and the budget for the financial year 2026. And in doing so, I wish to indicate that Cabinet has recommended that the National Assembly proceed upon this motion pursuant to Article 171, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution of Guyana. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2026 is the first budget being presented by this People's Progressive Party civic government under the distinguished leadership of His Excellency the President since our landslide victory.
Say it again, Ashley. Say it again.
And if I might, sir, oblige my distinguished colleague, the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, since our landslide victory on September 1, 2025. In the elections held on that date, the People's Progressive Party Civic secured 36 seats in this honorable House, giving us, Mr. Speaker, a 7-seat majority the largest majority won by any party since we won a similar majority 20 years ago.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Honorable Minister, sorry to interrupt you, but we are having some indiscipline by members of the media who are not listening to the person in charge of allowing the media in here. And I want to say to anyone who is not listening to our public relations officer, Yannick, please raise your hands and obey his instructions. You would not be allowed to come back in the dome. So the protocol is we have DPI, who we have contracted to do our streaming and recording. We have 5 members from the private media. We have 2 still cameramen from the private media. We have allowed the Minister of Finance videographer to be in the house. Anyone else, you have to obey Mr. Yannick December. Honorable Minister, I hope I don't have to interrupt you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I was saying, Mr. Speaker, the expanded majority of 7 seats to which I just referred, I might add, was secured with the highest number and the widest margin of popular votes won by any party since democracy was restored in 1992. The 2025 elections were also the first general and regional elections since our young democracy came under threat in the run-up to 2020. As in 2020, Mr. Speaker, democracy prevailed in 2025, the will of the Guyanese people emerged victorious, and the People's Progressive Party secured re-election with a much stronger mandate. This resounding result clearly reflects the recognition by the Guyanese people of our government's strong track record of delivery over the years. In just the first 2 years after August 2020, we contained COVID-19, we reopened our country, and we resuscitated our economy. We consolidated our democratic and state institutions, and we returned our country to a place of global respectability. We rebuilt our country's credibility and attractiveness as an investment destination for both foreign and domestic investors. We reversed the oppressive economic policies of the APNU-AFC, who, albeit significantly fewer in number, now comprise the parties on the opposite side of this House. We resumed critical social programs that they took away, and we expanded these. And we delivered much needed relief and immediate tangible improvements to the lives of all of the Guyanese people. Now scattered amongst the parties on the other side of this honorable House. Then, Mr. Speaker, despite losing 2 years to this rescue and recovery effort, we still managed to launch a sweeping transformation of our country at a scale, scope, and speed that have simply never been seen before. We started the build-out of a new and expanded transport infrastructure network that has unlocked boundless economic opportunity, that has improved commuter efficiency, and that has transformed quality of life. We started the build-out of an ambitious expansion and upgrade of our energy infrastructure that will double electricity production and halve the cost to consumers. We built more hospitals and schools, developed more housing areas, granted more house lots, sank more wells, and built more water treatment plants and water distribution systems than ever before. We created more jobs and trained and put more people in work than at any other time in our country's history. And Mr. Speaker, with all this and more, we delivered on our 2020 manifesto fully over the past 5 years, and we exceeded many of the commitments contained therein. Beyond this unmatched historic track record, Mr. Speaker, the resounding electoral result of 2025 also reflects the overwhelmingly favorable reaction of the Guyanese people to the comprehensive 2025 manifesto with which we went into the September 2025 elections. This manifesto places the well-being of the Guyanese people at the heart of our entire policy agenda for the next 5 years. Its stated aim is to see us delivering a modern, prosperous, and inclusive Guyana, where we translate national prosperity into community, household, and individual prosperity. In this regard, as we have said before, we aim to make Guyana a country that all Guyanese regard as the place they prefer to live, learn, work, earn, invest, and retire, and are able to do so comfortably, happily, and harmoniously. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2026 also comes to this Honorable House against the background of the inspiring and unifying inaugural address delivered by His Excellency the President on September 7th, 2025, as well as the bold and visionary presidential address His Excellency delivered on December 17th, 2025. In these, His Excellency elaborated the exciting future that beckons for all Guyanese as our government proceeds to implement the policies and plans contained in our 2025 manifesto. His Excellency spoke of opportunity being the birthright of every single Guyanese citizen. And His Excellency spoke of our country's resources being the lifeblood of dignity, hope, and shared prosperity. He also elaborated our agenda for transforming Guyana into a modern country and society, including with the deployment of world-class digital technology. In this era of rapid economic growth, the new Guyana that we are building will reflect not only a tangible and visible transformation of our country, but also a fundamental improvement in the quality of every aspect of the daily lived experience of all Guyanese. Put very simply, the Guyana that we are building today is one where all the basic necessities of a comfortable life are readily available to the Guyanese people. Where families, including young families, can realistically aspire to own their own homes by accessing land allocation as well as affordable financing for homeownership. Where families live in clean communities with well-maintained and well-lit roads and concrete drains, where the parapets are kept clean and free of garbage, and where recreational and green spaces abound. Where people can traverse their daily routines safely without threat to themselves or their property, and where persons of all ages are able to access world-class healthcare and other social and public services easily, efficiently, and without bureaucratic frustration. The Guyana we are building is also one where opportunities abound for every single Guyanese person, where the young and the not so young are all able to acquire the world-class education, cutting-edge skills, and relevant training they need free of charge to secure bright futures for themselves. Where the economy continues to grow, investments are attracted, and jobs are created so that those of working age are able to obtain rewarding and fulfilling employment. Where attractive and lucrative entrepreneurial opportunities are available for investment, and financing is readily and affordably accessible to support the pursuit of these opportunities, including by new and young entrepreneurs. And where assets can be acquired and savings accumulated as a safe store of value, leveraged to generate earnings and become a reliable source of financial security and wealth creation for the long term. This is the Guyana we are building. Mr. Speaker, by these means, creating opportunity, incentivizing effort, and rewarding hard work, every single Guyanese person in this generation and in the future will have within their reach the opportunity to educate and uplift themselves, the opportunity to attain financial independence, the opportunity to secure economic empowerment, and the opportunity to safeguard their own well-being and that of their family for the long run by their own effort. This is the pact between this People's Progressive Party civic government and the Guyanese people. This is the premise of Budget 2026, and this shall be the focus of our work for the next 5 years. Mr. Speaker, on this note, it is important to emphasize the need to ensure resilience if these gains are to be lasting and sustainable into the long term. Hence, the Guyana we are building is also a more resilient Guyana, one that is able to withstand disruptions and shocks, remain stable, continue to prosper, and still remain a place of opportunity for the Guyanese people over generations to come. Mr. Speaker, there will unavoidably be good times as well as challenging times. Commodity prices will not always be in our favor. The weather will never be fully predictable or controllable. And geopolitical uncertainties and their impact are an ever-present reality. Throughout the inevitable ebb and flow of an unpredictable world, we have a duty to preserve and protect the interests of the Guyanese people. And to that, we are irreversibly committed. That is why we have established a policy framework that is designed to be sufficiently resilient to withstand shocks that could arise, whether from commodity prices, or climate disruptions, or any other surprise. On the subject of resilience, it is apposite to note that 2026 comes to this honorable House just 4 months before Guyana celebrates its 60th independence anniversary. Over the decades since we freed ourselves from colonial rule, we have navigated all manner of challenges, tumultuous global developments, baseless external threats to our territorial integrity, domestic struggles to achieve and preserve democracy, building credible institutions of state from scratch, recovery from economic collapse and sovereign bankruptcy, achieving economic viability and fiscal sustainability, becoming one of the fastest growing economies of the world, and then managing the risks that come with this. Mr. Speaker, we have navigated all of it. And we have emerged stronger as a country and as a people. And so, Mr. Speaker, we have much to celebrate as we mark 60 years as an independent country. In this milestone year, Guyana can validly and proudly claim to be globally respected, politically mature, and economically strong as a country. We, all Guyanese, have a duty to jealously and unapologetically guard and protect these strengths, which were not easily won and should never be trifled with or taken for granted. Our government's intention, Mr. Speaker, is to do just this, to diligently defend these gains that we have made as a country, to further consolidate and build upon them, and most importantly, to leverage them to the benefit of the Guyanese people. This we will do throughout 2026, aided, of course, by Budget 2026. And this we will continue to do over the next 5 years and far beyond. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2026 lays the basis for continued strong economic growth and for further rapid advances in our country's transformation. Within this context, the context of rapid economic growth and transformation, this People's Progressive Party civic government's entire policy agenda, our entire policy agenda, focuses on improving the lives of the Guyanese people and on creating opportunities for the Guyanese people. With this in mind, Budget 2026 is presented very simply under the theme, putting people first. Mr. Speaker, I will now review the global and regional economic context. At the time we meet. Mr. Speaker, Guyana's sustained strong economic performance comes against the backdrop of a global economy that is best characterized by uneven growth and an uncertain outlook. Mr. Speaker, while remaining broadly resilient, in 2025, the global economy was confronted by some loss of momentum as several events weighed on economic activity. A rapidly changing global policy environment, significant shifts in global trading arrangements, and increased labor market rigidities in some economies tempered business and consumer confidence and weakened cross-border investment. As a result, global growth is estimated at 3.3% for 2025, unchanged from the growth recorded in 2024.